Greetings from Storybrooke. I'm Bill Meeks.
And I'm Anne-Marie DeSimone.
And this is not really even an episode,
This is the Canadian bootleg version of our episodes.
Yes, this is the Canadian bootleg version of Greetings from Storybrooke. Hey, how are you doing tonight, Anne-Marie?
I am doing glorious, and I will probably be doing more and more glorious during this episode, thanks to this IPA.
We're both drinking a Sweetwater 420 IPA. Don't float the mainstream.
Don't float the mainstream.
That's because we're recording this on a very weird night, Saturday.
So weird.
Yeah, very, very odd, very weird night and everything. Normally we sit down and we record a very well thought out, well documented, well researched discussion about Once Upon a Time.
Yep.
But we're not going to do that this week.
Nope, we didn't. As far as I'm concerned, this episode did not exist.
As far as you're concerned?
As far as you're concerned.
I guess so, huh? Yeah, because
it only aired in Canada. And apparently Bradenton, Florida.
Yeah, well, why don't you explain to them a little bit about the bit that we did on the last episode?
Okay.
Just so people have an awareness of it.
For those of you who may not have caught our last episode,
yes,
it was about Birth, from the night where they aired Birth, followed by The Bear King. Mm-hmm. We loved Birth. But
Birth was great.
Birth was amazing, phenomenal, and
but what they did after Birth,
right,
wasn't so
again
good.
With the afterbirth question or statements. Following it up with The Bear King, which feels like probably the weakest episode of the season, possibly even more weak than Frozen. And go back to last season to see how we felt about that. Mm-hmm. Was the biggest disappointment we've had in a while. And so we just chose not to acknowledge that the episode existed.
Yeah, and we turned it into a bit.
It was a bit. It was we just kept saying they aired one episode last night. It would have been great to have a second hour of that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we did it throughout the entire episode. Anytime someone in the chat room mentioned that there was an episode that we'd missed or that we weren't discussing, we would just
be confused.
Yeah, and it went over great. I mean,
most people it went over great.
We got a ton of comments saying how hilarious they thought it was and how much they supported it, and even if they liked the episode, they thought it was funny.
They were okay. We even went so far as to during feedback, if somebody started to talk about the Bear King, we shut it down.
Yeah,
because
we cut
to us it did not exist.
And Poke Canada, one of our listeners, who was often there in chat, started saying, that they had seen
an episode in Canada.
It was a Canadian bootleg version of the episode.
So we just sort of took it and ran really hard with the Canadian bootleg thing.
Yeah, but there were a couple people in the chat who shall remain nameless, who were less than pleased with how
we
went
handled
down.
Things and things we didn't discuss.
When they realized we were going to stick with the bit and that we weren't going to cover the episode. So it was suggested, maybe
openly,
let's do a fan episode where you guys come in and discuss the episode. So at least we have an episode covering it, because we didn't want to sit there.
We didn't want to spew a haterade. You may be familiar with our haterade episodes. Go back and listen to Tallahassee. Mm-hmm. That's the most vivid one in my head at the moment. But you know what? We just didn't feel like doing it. It wasn't something we just were like, let's just focus on the happy and ignore the Scottish chick and her friends.
Yeah, so we were like, that's fine. If you guys want to do a fan episode, we'll run it and everything. And our good friend, you normally hear him at the beginning of the listener feedback every week, Bobby Hawke, decided to take the job of organizing this together.
He took things into his own hands, and he did an episode.
Yeah, unfortunately, no one really was able to volunteer or take the time to do it.
Yep, I don't know if
including
schedules
those
just
people
didn't work.
complaining.
Yep.
The most vocal complainers about us not doing the episode, which I thought was unfortunate. But you know what?
It happens. Bobby did a great job.
Deter him.
Nope.
He went and he conscripted. Not really conscripted. He talked to his daughter, Haylee, and they decided to do an episode together discussing this episode. Yep. So we figured what we'd do, and if you watch the video version of the episode, we'll have the chat room going underneath their version of the episode and do like a running commentary.
I would like to give a shout out to Matthew Paul in the chat room, who will be joining us this evening. Welcome, Matthew.
Hi, Matthew. And you can feel free to chime in via chat too while we run the episode, and then we'll be back to wrap things up after it's done. So I guess I guess that's about it.
That's about it.
But we'll go ahead and run this fan review of The Bear King, and we'll be back to wrap it up here in a few. Take it away, Bobby.
Bobby.
It's live, Dad.
It's live and there's 0 viewers. Yay.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey guys, this is Bobby Hawke, and I don't have a theme song or anything. Okay, that's my daughter trying to give us a theme song. This is my daughter Haylee Hawke, and I'm doing this podcast because last week there was seemed to be some sort of weird interruption in local feed for some reason or in Orlando, because Greetings from Storybrooke, my favorite Once Upon a Time podcast, for some reason did not get the feed for the Bear King. And I've also heard a lot of people not liking the episode so much online, and I had a bit of a different opinion, and so I wanted to at least give my opinion on the Bear King. Sorry I couldn't come up with a rhyming summary or anything. Maybe Bill can put one in at the top. But anyway, here we go with this week's episode of Once Upon a Time. So first off, I really like this episode. Well, okay. I'm not going to say I really like this episode. What I really liked about this episode is that, you know what? First off, let me ask my daughter's opinion. That's rude of me. Haylee, you watched the show with me to begin with.
Well, not all the show because
no, but like in the first season or two, you used to watch it with me, and then you kind of left.
Yeah, because you started to do your own thing.
Why? What do you mean I started to do my own thing?
Nothing.
Okay. Don't be so shy. Anyway, what I was saying was you're not totally unfamiliar with the show. But one of the reasons I wanted to bring you in is because you watched the movie and were a fan of it. And so I wanted to see, I didn't watch the movie myself. I wanted to see what you thought of like the show compared, to the movie or with the movie, or just what did you think of the episode in general?
Why was Mulan there?
That's the first thing you had to say is why was Mulan there?
Yes. Why was Mulan there?
That's a good question. Although I liked her character and I liked what she brings to the show. Yeah, that's a good question.
I don't know why Mulan and Ruby are there. I don't know why
they were there at all. I think that's what
How
most
did they even get up in the whole situation? They were nowhere in the movie. Just like,
well, that doesn't have anything to do with the that.
I
don't
know,
think about
it
it like
just
that.
Bothers me.
But I think that's what most people's problem with the episode was.
How did they get there?
Like I said, I think that's what most people's problem with the episode was. I feel like they knew they were bringing back Mulan and Ruby sometime this season, and they needed to find somewhere to bring them in too. And this was like, this is how I feel anyway. This is how it felt to me. Is like,
so they just pushed them in there and be like, here, you guys just go in there so we have something to talk about.
It's something like that, yes. Because there's been talks of like a same-sex relationship happening on the show. Because Mulan had a thing for the Sleeping Beauty, like Aurora.
Is there something wrong with that?
No, I didn't say there was anything wrong with that.
No, I mean, like, why do people not like that? It's just like, dude, it's just love. You have to accept
Speak
what
up.
It is.
Cool. I totally agree.
You have to accept what love is. You can't judge it.
I'm not disagreeing
love
with
is
you.
Love.
Okay, Haylee. Speak truth, sister. Okay.
I will speak my heart.
All right. But we're kind of skipping ahead here. So anyway, did you like the episode besides Mulan and Ruby just being in there?
Yeah, it was good. I liked how it had that sort of twist at the end where it's just like, oh my god, it didn't use magic.
Speak up.
It's like,
oh, the witch you're saying? How
like, oh my god, didn't use magic. You just got like this same exact helmet but polished it.
Oh, okay.
Why would he do that? I mean, like,
because he felt bad about.
I know he felt
he didn't want to force people into battle. That's another qualm I have with the episode is like I was always a fan of Arthur, and I kind of hate like at first I was like kind of on board with what they were doing with Arthur, and now I don't know about that.
just like just no. Why do you do this? Why do you do this to this?
All right. So you
weird.
liked the brave part of it, but you didn't like Arthur and Mulan and Ruby, Red Riding Hood.
Yeah.
More or less.
Yeah, more or less.
All right. So that's like your basic opinion. See, what I liked about the episode is that this was a filler episode is what you know what a filler episode is? If you watch TV, okay, a filler episode is like a lot of TV nowadays is not procedural. It's it's serialized, and you have to actually like pay attention to what's going on from episode to episode because the story carries on. But every once in a while they'll have a filler episode. But even most of the time in the filler episodes, they'll have a beat or two that, you know, will pertain to the rest of the story that's been carrying on for the season. But for this episode, it was literally like a beat or two, like at the end and the beginning. Because for the most part, this was like, I mean, this almost could have played as some sort of backdoor pilot for a Brave TV show.
Yeah.
What's weird is that they actually put in the witch's personality in there. She just gives away magic and just like, you know what? No, I'm just gonna be like a total donkey right now.
Is that how the witch is in the movie?
Yeah, it's just like, you know what? I'm gonna give this girl some magic, but I'm gonna be a total donkey about it.
So she was. That was actually my favorite character of the episode.
The witch is. I like how they got her personality in there. She just like gives magic away for no exact reason, and it's like, you know what? Someone's gonna die at the end of it. There's gonna be this whole like twist at the end. You know what? Someone's gonna end up dying soon. Let's learn you a lesson whenever someone dies.
And is that how it happened in the movie, or?
Well, like no one actually, yeah, someone did die. Yeah, someone did die. Yep. Someone died.
Okay. So, I also like Amy Manson's portrayal of Merida. Do you like her portrayal of Merida? Huh? I've only seen like trailers and bits and pieces of the movie, so I really don't have a whole lot to go on that. I like her character.
She basically already portrayed Merida as well because she just gave her a potion that would like help her change her fate, but it just turned her mom into a bear. It's just like, lady, I told you I wanted to change my fate, not change my mom into a bear.
And how does like at the end of the movie, the mom's not a bear anymore then?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why in the movie it said, you turn my wife into a bear, you turn my sons into a bear. Blah, blah, blah.
And you thought that, what was it you said while we were watching the show? You said, why don't they just divorce them?
Oh, yeah, I thought she said wives instead of lives. It's like, why don't they just divorce them and then they won't have to turn into bears?
You thought instead of them saying they'll spend your lives as bears, you thought that they said, I'll turn your wives into bears.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now, like I was saying before, and you've mentioned it, Mulan and Ruby, they're characters that we all like and love, and we're glad to have them back, don't get me wrong. But they did feel a bit out of place in this episode. Like I said, I liked the brave elements of this episode quite a bit, actually.
What I don't get is, how did Mulan even get into the war? Like, how did she get into the army of him?
Well, have you seen? So this happened after you watched the show. As far as Mulan coming onto the show, right? She's been on the show before.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, right now she's just been traveling. So as far as her coming to this village as a warrior, that doesn't.
But how did she get into their army?
She just is a known warrior that travels. She doesn't stay in one place, and so that King Fergus was able to use her skill. He hired her. She's like a mercenary.
She's like, I shall work for you until
I die. She just goes from village to village because she was helping Philip and Aurora. I think it was in the 3rd season. Philip and Aurora are? Okay. All right. So, but Ruby, I don't know where the hell she came from. And they tried to retcon. Oh, sorry. I shouldn't have said that. Where the heck she came from. But she, like, I'm sorry. That totally threw me off. They tried to retcon that into here, and I don't understand. Like, that really didn't make any sense at all. For me, that's where this episode fell apart, was Mulan and Ruby.
But why would the witch capture Ruby? Wait, she said that that's her pet, right?
Right.
But her pet's a bird.
What do you mean? In the movie.
In the movie, her pet was a crow.
Well,
and now it changed into a wolf. That was actually a human girl.
I have a whole lot to say about that whole thing, because I don't understand. If the witch is a good person, then why does she abduct or keep Ruby in the first place? Why was Ruby as a wolf like that? Maybe
because she made her.
So maybe the witch didn't realize the wolf was Ruby. Maybe Ruby turned into the wolf, and
she's like, I'm gonna get that wolf.
Right. Like she was doing something to the witch unbeknownst to her. Maybe that's what happened. But I don't know. Nothing about that really makes sense to me. And then how they tried to retcon her in there at the end,
you know what? I just killed your dad for no exact reason.
Or no, what I'm talking about is where they showed her in Storybrooke, like this was probably 2 seasons ago. It would have been where she just disappeared. Everyone's like, "Where'd Ruby go?" And they're trying to say that
she's like, "What though?"
She told Mary Margaret that she wanted to go see people of her own. But she had people of her own back at home. She had her grandma, who was literally her family. So I really don't understand any of the logic in that situation.
She's like, oh my God, where'd she go?
So I have mixed feelings about all of that. It's like I'm glad that that Ruby and Mulan are back, but I do not like how it's turned out.
Like
and as far as the relationship thing goes, the what we brought up before, if it does happen, at first I thought it was going to happen with Mulan and Merida, and it almost felt like they earned that, that could have happened. But now it seems like it's going to be Mulan and Ruby, and I don't know, maybe they'll earn that, and maybe that's something that's going to play out over the second half of the season, because we only have like an episode or 2 left of the rest of this season. But we'll see. And really, there's not really a lot of speculation other than that during as far as this episode goes. And that's how much of a filler episode this was. Is there isn't a whole lot to say about like the context of the season as a whole, because nothing really happened in this episode of, pertaining to the rest of the season. Oh, and again, you don't watch the show, so you wouldn't really know too much about that, I guess. But yeah, I mean, we've already brought up my next point about the witch holding Mulan and whatnot, and then of course,
no, it wasn't holding the witch.
Or not Mulan, I meant Ruby. Yes, thank you. I watch the show every week, and you're correcting me. All right. But basically, like I said, I feel like that's what was the biggest letdown for the fans, is how they just like, I think you said it best, that they felt like they just pushed the 2 of them into this story.
It's because what, we're just gonna force your way in here.
You could take the 2 of them out, and it
would still be fine.
Yeah, it wouldn't have mattered. The only thing I did like, I liked King Fergus bringing Mulan or hiring Mulan to train Merida, because it kind of like showed that he recognized that, you know, Merida would feel that she didn't need a male to train her, you know. I think he probably went out of his way to find, you know, and not to take anything away from Mulan, because she probably is one of the fiercest warriors, but you know, they haven't really done a whole lot to show that, but that's neither here nor there. And like I said, as far as Ruby goes, like I said,
Wait, but how did the king know where the witch was?
Where the witch was? What do you mean?
Like, did he follow the wisp to the witch's house? Was it like his destiny to go there, or did he just go there for fun or something?
No, he went there to have her make the helm.
Like how did he know where the thing was?
Where to find her cavern or whatever?
Because the wisp showed Merida where to go, but how did the king get there? She never told the king. She only told her mom.
Well, I'm okay. You're bringing up elements from the movie, but just from what you just said, I would just say that Merida told him where it was at. Okay. I mean, it's, you know.
Okay, I got you.
That's how I would explain
that. You could go back now.
To what I was saying.
Yeah.
I'm kind of done with what I was saying. And, I mean, there's not really any, like, speculation. Like I said, there was nothing that happened in this episode that went with the, along with the rest of the season.
So it kind of just basically shows why they just disappeared.
Who disappeared?
Mulan and...
Mulan they showed why Mulan disappeared before, because they mentioned it in the episode. You know, that's why she was acting all cranky and all, you know, had a bunch of attitude on the second part of the episode. You know, like how it was showing Merida saying
how she just like she's like, you know what, I give up on life. I'm just gonna be a total I'm just gonna go around like killing people.
Well, that happened. Yeah, and that happened because she was going to reveal her true feelings to Aurora, but then just as she was about to, Aurora came to her and said that she was pregnant with Philip's baby.
Oh my god!
Right, and so Mulan just was like, "Oh, that's so great!
Just yay!
Yeah,
yay for you! This is so awkward now."
Yeah, and so she just kind of was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go this way."
You know, I'm just gonna turn around and go back. See you later.
Right. Yeah, so that's basically what happened with Mulan. But yeah, Ruby, like I said, they tried to explain it in this episode, but I just feel like they could have done so much better.
Wait,
unfortunately.
How did Ruby get involved with the witch? Because she said that the witch gave her sleeping powder thing.
There was a time, I'm guessing it would have been again the third season, around the time she disappeared, that something like that happened. It's so much has happened on this show that I really can't remember at this point.
It's like, oh my god, it's so confusing now.
So
it's kind of like Gravity Falls, just like, oh my god, what is going on?
Kind of like Gravity Falls.
Yeah, just like, what's going on now?
All right.
How did this come to this?
So out of, what was it, the witch had 10,000 gold skiets?
It was like, you know, Chowder? How it's like gold coins?
Right.
Like back in those days, they didn't have money. It was called something else. It was like
she called it like skiets or something.
SEAR. Sears, whatever it's called.
Whatever it was. What do you give, when she said 10,000 of those, like if there was a rating 0 to 10,000, what would you give this episode?
What's happened? 5,000.
5,000? So just half?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I thought you liked it more than that.
was alright.
Well, why do you give it such a low rating?
Well, like, I would probably rate it like 8,000, so it's like an alright. It's like.
Well, no, don't make me second guess your rating.
It's like
I'm
it's
just asking.
like alright. It's in the alright section.
Okay, so you don't think it's like totally mediocre? If it was just
It's like yeah, it could
So like a 7,000 or 8,000.
It could have gone better,
What do you think they could have done to make it better?
Not put Mulan and Ruby in there.
Not put Mulan and Ruby in there. All right. You know what? Like on the first viewing, I really liked it.
Until they just smacked in Mulan and Ruby in there.
But there's a few reasons I feel like I probably liked it. I'm a sucker for like father-son, father-daughter stories, like Field of Dreams and stuff like that. I mean, everyone hates on Superman Returns, but that's like one of my favorite Superman movies, and it may have just been because of the whole lost son thing in there.
It's like, oh my god.
Like you can throw that in there, and all of us like I could hate the movie, and all of a sudden I love the movie. I don't know why. I'm just
like, oh my god, oh my god, no, I love it.
Yeah, I'm just totally biased that way. But
like I'm just like looking at just like
I feel the same as you. I don't have a lot to compare it to as far as Brave goes, but I did like the Brave element of the show itself. Although at times, as far as stop going through stuff.
Well, why is it still in plastic?
I don't know. Just watch.
Why don't you unwrap it?
Pay attention to what I'm saying.
Okay. I will.
All right. Now I've lost track of what I was saying. I think what I was saying was that I'm biased to father-son, father-daughter things. And upon first viewing, that probably made me give it a higher rating than I'm about to give it now. And that's not to say that I didn't like the episode, because I did like quite a bit of it. Although at times there were some things in it that felt a bit like LARPing, live action role playing. Like all those people running through, like painted up with kilts on and stuff like that. That being said, Mulan and Ruby being shoved into the story just like kind of knocked it down quite a bit. And I'm going to go out of 10,000 gold skits or whatever it was, I'm going to say 7,347.
Okay.
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 Yeah. So, yeah, that's basically it. And sorry for the short show. Wasn't a lot to say about the episode, I guess. Of course, you can always leave your feedback if they ever get to it. I'm sorry I couldn't find any way to play it here. Leave your feedback for them at greetingsfromstorybrooke@gmail.com, Twitter @gfstorybrooke, Facebook is Greetings from Storybrooke, and of course the voicemail, as always, is 424. Oh, wait a second. I forgot to say something here. So, as always, before you, after next week's episode, don't walk, run, turn into a wolf, go get abducted by a witch, have some chick like dump a cauldron of some weird green smoke on you.
Get Mulan drunk.
And then find the nearest phone and call 424-274-2352. That's 424-274-2352. Thanks, Bill and Anne-Marie, for letting me do this. I know it's not quite the same format, but it's never done this before. Thanks for letting me try it out, and As always, say this with me, Haylee.
What?
Huh?
What is this?
What? Greetings from Storybrooke.
Okay.
Wait. Until next time. Greetings from Storybrooke.
Are they dancing?
We are dancing. We are dancing. And we're back. Amazing.
Thank you so
Absolutely
much,
amazing.
Bobby and Haylee. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
That was phenomenal.
That was so awesome, and I want to have Haylee back again.
I am glad Bobby.
She needs to start watching.
I'm glad Bobby went back and corrected himself by saying something completely weird and messed up before giving the contact info. That's important.
At least it wasn't like Legends.
Yeah, Legends gets a little crazy
Completely
here.
wackadoodle.
Legends of Gotham, but
Legends
no,
of
thank
Gotham.
you guys so much. It was great, and we want to thank everyone we had in the chat. We had Monica, Matthew, Bobby.
Bobby, thank you.
But very good stuff. Anything you want to add about that, Anne-Marie?
No, you can read all my thoughts in the bottom of the chat, so you have to watch the video.
Yeah. I will say I just loved that Haylee. Anytime she made a point, a good
point, and she had quite a few.
Yeah, she would just like look at the camera. And she would mug at the camera, and I loved it. It's absolutely worth watching the video version of that, if nothing else, just for the fun father-daughter dynamic.
I know, and also Field of Dreams, yes.
Definitely.
You even like Field of Dreams? It's about sports.
Yeah, well, I liked it when I watched it when I liked baseball.
Okay,
so
maybe we should try watching it again.
Maybe.
Oh, Wonderbox?
That's a thing for another thing.
Yeah, it is. I'm just curious.
No, but we will be back this Monday night, 8:30 p.m. EST at live.universebox.com as usual to cover this week's episode, which is called How Hawke Got His Groove Back, I think, is the official name of the episode.
That's what we're calling it, at least for now. How Hawke got his groove back.
Definitely.
We just
How Hawke got his hook back.
How Wicked got her groove back. How Mama got her groove. Like, everybody's getting their groove back this season.
Well, it's the year of the renewed groove. Everybody knows that. Emery, where can people find you online?
You can find me on Twitter at AMDSimone.
You can find me on Twitter at Bill Meeks. You can follow all of the podcasts we do at universebox.com. This podcast in particular, greetings from Storybrooke.com. And I will say that if you go to Amazon Kindle store this month and search my name, Bill Meeks, you can find all of my books, like all 6 or 7 books I've written, for 99 cents a piece throughout the month of December.
99 cents?
It's a steal.
Those are great stocking stuffers.
It's a holiday special. You should go, even if you don't want to read it. Even if you don't want to read it, it's 99 cents. You know? Might as well. Might as well. No, but we want to thank Bobby again so much.
Seriously, you and Haylee are welcome anytime that you want to do any sort of an episode. Please let us know.
Definitely, like over the hiatus season, if you guys want to do father and daughter
analysis of fathers and daughters on the show, hey, do it up. There's plenty of it.
Do it up. Mm-hmm. If you want your daughter to school you some more, Bobby, we'll broadcast it. No problem.
You know what I think we should do, because I have a feeling that Merida is going to be over this half season. Please. That we should do like you and Bobby talking about Brave, since neither of you have seen it.
Very true. That could be kind of fun.
That could be a nice little greeting special.
But we'll be back here again Monday, and make sure to send your feedback, like Bobby said.
Send us your feedback. Yep.
Definitely. After you
run, don't walk.
After you memory wipe an episode from your brain, send us your feedback. We'd really appreciate that. Greetings from Storybrooke@gmail.com, 424-274-2352. Okay, so that does it for now, and we'll be back on Monday, but we love you guys.
That's in like 2 days.
I know. It's real quick. Okay, until next time.
Greetings from Storybrooke. Don't worry, Haylee, you'll get it next time. Got a toy.
And I promise my beard will be back on Monday, because I look so weird because I'm having to stare at my picture.
You look 12.
I do look 12.
You look 12.
I look absolutely 12. But thanks, guys.
Thank you guys for joining us.
We love you.
Bye.
Bye.